What's up, everybody out there? Welcome back to another Addicted Fishing tutorial. My name is Jordan Kidding. I'm sitting here with Scott Call of Brad's Killer Fishing Gear, an awesome sponsor of ours, and Tom Browning of Browning's Guide Service. Today we're going to talk about two not really brand new, but new to the trout world methods of how to troll for trout. So if you guys want to learn more about these cool methods, stay tuned. It's coming at you right now. That's a heavy fish.
Get it.
So first things first, when we're trolling for trout, Tom, we want to use somewhat lighter action rods, correct? You want them to be soft. Yep. So what we have here, what's the weight on these rods?
This is a 9.5 foot, 6 to 10, I believe. Yeah. 6 to 10 pound. It's basically what it is it's an ultralight side drifting rod. So really any kind of rod will work for this, as long as it's not too heavy. Yep. Because you want that soft tip, correct, for when these fish are biting. Yep. So we're fishing for any kind of rainbow trout. This works for kokanee, it works for all different kinds of trout out there, and it really is best. You can't really fish this method from the bank, but if you have a boat or a kayak or canoe or anything, you can get out there and do it. Our other rod that we have set up is, what's this one? Same weight. This is a 7.5 foot. It's a 8 to 15, I believe. It's got a little bit more backbone than the longer rod, but it does still have the softer tip.
Perfect.
On it.
So the two methods that are kind of the secret that we're releasing to you guys today is a method that's been around a long time, but not necessarily used for the trout. So talk a little bit more about what we have here. What is this?
Yeah, it's traditionally more of a kokanee setup, people would think. So you've got your Dodger here, and going back to your cut plug here. Cut plug is filled with tuna in oil, just regular starfish, chicken of the sea, whatever you like, doesn't matter, just tuna out of a can. Generally like it in oil. So if
show how that thing works too.
Yeah, so and if you can't find tuna in oil, that's fine. Get the tuna in water, open the can the night before, dump out the water, put in a tablespoon of vegetable oil, boom, next morning you got tuna in oil. So this is a product that's got a rubber band on the back, right there, opens up, and then you've got a cavity on the inside. The beauty of this is inside that cavity, then you can put bait. So we have a scent pad in there that you could fill with, Addicted Blend, salmon, trout, steelhead, whatever you like. Procure scents, your favorite scent in there. Or alternatively, you can put tuna fish. And generally, I found tuna fish to be about the best scent all around. We use it for salmon.
Stick corn and stuff in there too, correct?
You can
really anything that's not going to make it so you can't close that thing down.
Exactly. The key really is, and that's a good point. The key really is these scent holes here. So you're just wanting to not block up those scent holes. So we got them on the front and the back. So if you are putting corn or tuna or salmon eggs in there, yeah, a little secret. Yeah,
oh,
catch that.
Knock that one in there.
Or whatever you got in there, you want to take that scent pad out so that it's not blocking one side of the holes.
So talk a little bit about the leader length now. So you have a super short leader going up to your Dodger here, and the Dodger comes with all that hardware on it, correct?
Correct, yep.
So that Dodger comes, he has a short leader down to that, and why is that?
Yeah, so we're going here about 10 inches. Generally I'm going anywhere between 8 to 18, 20 inches. The action for these, what we're finding out in this particular lake is they're liking a little bit more action. So the shorter this leader is here, the more action you're gonna have. So we have a fairly short leader behind the Dodger. So you picture the Dodger's going like this in the water. And each time it's doing that, this thing is going back and forth, back and forth. So the longer this is set back, the littler action it's gonna have. The closer it is to the Dodger, the more action it's gonna have. And today we're fishing for trout, and the trout are real active. They're actively feeding and they're looking for that action. So that's the action that we're giving them. We'll test a few at different lengths, and always let the fish tell you.
I hate when they won't tell me.
I know. Sometimes you gotta listen.
So Scott, how much weight are we usually gonna troll on this? Looks like you have about a 2 foot leader all the way up to that
so about
swivel.
2 feet up. Yeah, so you can put anywhere between a ½ ounce to 4 ounces, but generally we're running a ½ to 2 ounces. And ½ to 2 ounces. Tom, how much line you think we've got out there?
100 feet. 100 feet. Yeah, I've got bobber stops on all the rods right at 100 feet. And I've got a chart that tells me based on how many ounces we're running 100 feet back. It's At 2 ounces, you're about 35 feet deep.
Oh, that's perfect.
So,
perfect. That's a really neat way of knowing that.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest question for a lot of people.
No, it is for sure. So that's one of the setups we got going on today. It's worked really well, as you can see.
We're about to put it out and show them.
No, we're gonna.
Second setup is one that I've never really seen a lot of in particular. We use a lot of this in like salmon and steelhead, but talk more about how this is working for
What do you
trout.
think of it? How's it work today?
It's worked almost better than anything. You can't even get the hooks out of them.
So this is our mud dog diver. This is our Magnum mud dog diver. So this dives down to about 18, 20 feet, something like that. We also have a standard in this size, which is about 15 to 18 feet. But behind that, what we're doing is we're running it to one of our wigglers. And here's our wiggler. So that wiggler on its own is gonna dive about 12, 13 feet on its own. So the combination of these two is gonna get it right down in the zone where they are. So we're marking fish, down in that 25 to 35 foot range. And this is putting us right down in there. I also rig this wiggler a little different. You can use the hooks that come with the wiggler. Comes with 2 treble hooks on the back, and that's fine. I'm generally doing a 4 bead chain swivel with a single treble on the back, and that treble you can see starts right about the tail. And the reason I do that, I do it not only on trout, but also do it on salmon and steelhead, particularly coho, because you'll know that fish will often, like coho and even steelhead, will jump and turn and try and get that lure any way they can out of the mouth. And what happens with this bead chain is as they turn, that bead chain just continues to turn too.
Right,
so yeah, so they can't leverage it against itself. So that's been a real good setup for me. Have you tried that at all?
I have, and for the way that this thing works so well for trout, I think especially is the variety of colors you have on the boat. I mean, he's got a box over here that's just got every single color and shade that you could match to the watercolor, and it's so easy to quickly change and go to different wigglers like that as you're going along through the lake.
Yeah, we got the pinks, the oranges, the blue pirates, and we also have different styles of plugs here. Our thin fish, and yeah, it's quick and easy. You just got a dual lock on the end, so you just snap in and snap out. And generally, we're leaving something on 15, 20 minutes. And if we're not getting hit, then we'll shade out a color and see if we can find something that they want. But again, it's all about you not telling the fish what they want. Let the fish tell you what they want. So one other real important thing to look at is generally these run just perfect out of the box. You don't need to tune them at all. You'll see that we were just running that in the water to make sure it was running straight. You don't want it to run to one side or the other. You want it to just dig straight down and run straight, even at a faster troll. So oftentimes I'll pull the rod along a little bit to make it go quicker to see if it's gonna kick out. If it does kick out, one way or the other, you've got this little wire right there on the very end. And so what you want to do is just bend that to one side or the other, the opposite side of the way it's kicking. So if it's kicking out to the right, you go left. If it's kicking out to the left, you go right, and just micro adjustments. Generally people go way too much, just micro adjustments with these. So, and on other plugs that have a screw in, you actually don't bend, you just turn the screw a little bit one way or the other. This isn't a screw in, so this particular kind you got to bend a little bit. But again, just micro adjustments, start a little and see how it goes. Get it on that straight plane and you'll be fishing.
Well, let's get these things in the water and show everybody how they work.
Right on, let's do it.
Ooh, what do we have here? Check it out, everybody. Just got my Alaska seafood box. Follow me inside, let's check this thing out. All right, so we made it back inside. Let's open this bad boy up. What came this week? The lovely part about the Alaska seafood box is that it's portioned out for a family of 4. So usually there's 4 to 5 portions of each kind of meat in this box every month it comes. We got Alaskan coho in this one. We got some rockfish, an awesome giant chunk of rockfish fillet. There's 2 packages of these in there. We got perfect little portions of halibut this month. And the nice part is the variety of fish that comes in these boxes. You get 4 or 5 different styles of meat in every single month subscription, and then every month that continues, you get different styles of meat in that one as well. You can get crab, you can get halibut, you can have rockfish, you can have scallops, anything that you guys crave will come in this box at some point. The other wonderful thing about the Alaska Seafood Box is it supports your local fishermen. The Alaska Seafood Box is a small family-owned company, and they directly buy from small mom and pop boats in Alaska. So you're not getting that big conglomerate, those big fishing vessels that are throwing thousands of pounds of fish on the deck. They actually take the time to go out and hand select and catch the highest quality meat they possibly can. So it's a really great way to support your local fishermen and get some super quality meat delivered straight to your door. Man, I am salivating right now. If you guys want to see some awesome recipes on how we cook some of this stuff out of these Alaska Seafood Boxes, be sure to go down to the link, check out our channel, and find some of those catch and cooks where you can learn some amazing recipes for these Alaska Seafood Boxes. Now back to the video.
So this is nice. It's got a line counter on it, and I'm just going back to about 100 feet behind the boat. So one of the other things that I do with these is generally on when I'm running plugs like this, lighten up the drag just a little bit, and I'll put that clicker on because there's so much action going around the boat, especially today. We've been getting doubles and triples, and just having that sound, these run straight out the back, so mostly people are looking forward at the rods, and having that sound makes a big difference. We've caught 2 fish today just on the sound going off that people didn't see just because things get so hectic and busy. So another tip is if you can find a reel that's got a line counter and a clicker, that's a big bonus.
So we're gonna set this Dodger out, running 2 ounces on this one. We're gonna go out 100 feet. Should put us about 35 feet down, 30, 35. The most critical thing setting these out is do it slower than what you would expect to. If you don't, the cut plug has a tendency to come back up over the top of the Dodger and wrap up, and then you're not fishing effectively.
And it definitely is super crucial. There's been already a few times today we've brought them back in, and even especially if you're running a spread like we are today, and it'll have those lines all spread out. One will start to plane over once it wraps. We've even had multiple get snagged up. So having that little bobber stop is a great idea. Something I never thought about. Some people either even draw on their line a little marker, but having that little bobber stop is great. But letting that thing out slow is safe. We'll actually be fishing. Yeah. That's the problem is you can troll for 30 minutes and never even be down there fishing. So. Oh, fish on the drop. On the drop. I didn't even hardly get it in there. Didn't even hardly get it in.
Show him, Little. What's up, Little?
Good one. So you can see, guys, how quickly that thing worked. The way that thing is spinning. I wanted to ask you too about trolling speed. I'm sure it's what a lot of you are wondering already. How fast are we trolling now?
I target about 1.7 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Some mornings you'll find them at about 1.5 miles. I've caught them as high as 2.5 up here.
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to letting the fish dictate.
Exactly. And so as you guys can see in the rod tip, as we're trolling, that you're just getting that nice little wobble in that rod tip, which shows you that thing isn't actually spinning in a full circle and getting too much action. Look at that little guy. How pretty. On old orangey. Oh, a jumper. Beautiful. There it is, you guys. In action. You can see by having those double hook setups like that. He's got that trailer with that treble, and he's got that number 4 fine wire hook on top. That thing wasn't going anywhere. All right, now let's get one on the plug.
So we just talked about, you know, the depth that we're fishing these at. Oh, there's one. Got a fish on the rod right there.
Oh, right on the wiggler.
Right on the wiggler. Ronnie, you're up. Go
Once
get her.
again, as soon as you started talking again today, it's been happening all day
lucky
long.
Or what?
Hey, Ronnie. Oh, nice. Up on the surface.
Yep, here it comes.
Good job.
Woo!
Out the net. That's a nice little coho.
So we were just talking about using the Magnum mud dog. So this is a standard mud dog. It's going to run a little bit shallower. What we're seeing are there's fish that are rolling all over the surface here. So they're up in that upper water column. So instead of the standard wiggler, I'm going to put on a little wiggler behind this mud dog diver, the standard. And what's going to make a difference here in the depth that this thing dives is going to be the amount of line that you have behind the diver and the actual lure itself. So the more length of line you have there, the deeper that this will dive behind this. So this is already getting it down, and then this will dive even further, and the more line you put in, the further this will dive. These are on the surface right now, so you know, they're in that top 15, 20 feet, so I'm not wanting to go too deep, so I've got probably about 4 foot a leader behind this diver right now, so it'll be right down in that zone.
There you go.
So this is literally the one we were just talking about, bringing up on the surface a little bit. Yeah, shallowed up a little bit. We saw some fish rolling around, and Ronnie says, hey, look at all those fish rolling. So light bulb went off over the head and said, yeah, Ronnie, thanks. So she recommended we shallow up, which is what we did, and so this one went off. It's been in, what, probably 2 minutes?
Yeah, quick.
Nice job. That's a beautiful rainbow. All right. Well, there you have it, everybody. Different methods, things that we haven't really used out trout fishing much at all until lately, and thanks to your guys' awesome products, I think a lot of people are gonna catch more fish.
It works.
Yeah. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to go up here and click this link to this next video. If you guys want to learn more about Brad's, go find them on bradkillerfishinggear.com, correct? That's where you can find most of these products. Okay. Or go to your local tackle shop. These things are available all over the US. So if you haven't already done so, be sure to go down here and hit subscribe, turn your bells on, give this video a thumbs up, and comment below with what you thought of today's video or any questions you have, and you could be the comment of the day, just like this person right here. You guys stay fishy, and we'll see you out there.